Welcome friends, this video is about the PrimeWeld Fixture Table and some fixtures that I purchased from Fireball Tool. The table was shipped in these two boxes and dropped right on my doorstep. The table is made specifically to not require freight shipping, and the shipping was included in the price of the table. So I opened up the table box first and was very happy to see that it was already laying on its top. And next I opened up the leg box, and I was pleasantly surprised how heavy the legs were and that they were made of a pretty thick gauge metal. Each leg has two countersunk bolts that bolt in from the top of the table. I put a bit of wood underneath the tabletop and then placed the legs in a position and threaded in the bolts. The table legs all came with threaded non-slip feet, but I wanted to install casters to make it easier to move around the garage. PrimeWeld was sold out of their casters at the time, so I ordered a set from Amazon. The problem was that the foot threads from PrimeWeld were like an M16 bolt size, and the Amazon casters were all M12. To make them work, I ended up welding, drilling, and tapping the bottom of the legs to fit the Amazon casters. With the casters installed, I flipped the table upright and began testing out the new fixtures from Fireball Tool. All of these fixtures came in a set from Fireball Tool, and it was the best priced set that I could find, which actually has a lot of items in it. I did add on a few, which added some cost, but this is still more economical than some of the other sets out there, which cost 3 times as much for the same products, basically. The first use of the table was some heavy modification of a Home Depot welding cart. The table allowed me to set everything up and keep everything straight while welding. Here's the before and after of my Frankenstein cart mixing the Vulcan 350-pound single cart with a dual bottle 2-level cart made by Metal Man and sold by Home Depot. So, final thoughts. This table is great. It was cheaper than the competitors when you factor in shipping and the legs. I had originally planned to purchase the Langmuir table, but this was, I think, like $100 cheaper for the PrimeWeld, and the PrimeWeld has the Nitride coating to help with rust. But there was still some corrosion when it arrived. I cleaned it up with some oil, and now I'm realizing that I actually care what the table looks like, and I'll need to work on that. Anyway, I had also briefly looked at getting a Fireball Tool table on sale, but since they're a 1/2 inch thick and 4 inches tall, the table required freight shipping, and that added another $800 to the cost, which was probably already too expensive for me. The benefit that I did have looking at that table was finding an economical set of fixtures from Fireball Tools. Their 5/8 inch fixtures do work with the table, and they clamp really well. The table is only 3/8 inch thick on top and 5/16 on the sides. This makes it a little more likely that the holes will wallow out if you put too much torque on them, but it's still better than just using bolts and nuts like on the Harbor Freight table anytime you want to move something around. I had planned to purchase at least 2 of these tables and bolt them together, but I ended up just getting one to make sure I wasn't wasting money. It turned out that not only did I not waste my money, again this table is great, but I also like the size of the table since it needs to fit in my mess of a garage. I don't think that I'm going to get any more tables to combine until I actually have a shop to put them in. The main question that I had when looking around was if it was better to just buy a flat steel table instead of a fixture table. Honestly, even the flat tables I could find were expensive, and having a fixture table provides you a lot of options. The thing that is annoying with having a fixture table is that it's really only for welding. Otherwise, like nuts and bolts and whatever else could fall through. Also, unless you get a Fireball table with a slag tray, you have to worry about whatever is underneath your table and whether or not that's getting damaged or burnt. So, the PrimeWeld table is definitely worth it, and I plan to purchase 1 or 2 more in the next couple of years. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.